TCI. Installing a transmission is never a direct bolt-in deal, even if you're replacing the same tranny. So we always recommend a few tech tips that will help guide you through and make sure this process goes right the first time. First and foremost, always read your instructions.
Read the instructions and follow them to a T. Do not throw the instructions away like most people do.
Don't cinch the transmission to the block with the bell housing bolts. It's always easiest to install your converter before sliding the transmission under the car.
Just run the straight edge all the way across the front of the bell housing and then measure your depth from the straight edge down to the mounting lug. Now it's going to vary depending on the transmission, but this is very critical because if the depth is not enough, that means that the converter is not installed all the way or it's too long. When you install it, it'll bind up and cause the front pump to break.
When changing from a factory carb, you must use a Geometry Correction Kit. Always follow the instructions carefully to ensure proper adjustment and shifting. Mopar TorqueFlite trans need the OEM bell crank assembly for the kickdown linkage, or you can purchase a different cable kit from Locar. A vacuum modulator needs to be connected to a manifold vacuum port. Now the modulator can be adjusted to alter your shift points. On the Turbo 350, Turbo 400, and 700 R4, the governor controls the shift points. TCI sells a kit to allow you to modify these shift points, but when in doubt, always reuse your old governor.
Turbo 350, 700 R4, and Turbo 400 governors are the same. To change the shift points, you would basically change this weight and this spring. Say a Turbo 350 stock with our Turbo 350. If the shift points are off when they install our transmission, all they would have to do is take the governor out of their stock transmission, put it in our transmission, and it would bring the shift points back around.
Accumulated dirt can damage splines, clog internal lubrication passages, and damage the transmission, so always clean your drive shaft yoke before installation. Be sure to flush your cooler lines and fill the system to the correct level. To do so, run the engine long enough to achieve operating temperature, and cycle the car through all the gears to make sure you fill all the internal passages and then recheck the fluid level. So remember guys, always read your instructions, but if all else fails and you've read through and you still got questions, feel free to call the tech line at any time. Our guys are always here to help. Thanks again.
TCI.